£17.5 million. That is how much was stolen from UK pension savers in 2024 alone, according to Action Fraud. Not spread across thousands of small losses, an average of £34,000 per victim. For most of the people targeted, that was money they had spent 30 or 40 years building up, money they could not get back. And here is the thing that should concern every person watching this. The government issued an urgent national warning in October 2025 after reports of scam text messages targeting pensioners rose by 153% in a single week. 1 week. That is how fast this is moving. I am going to show you exactly what these scams look like, how they work, why they are so convincing, and most importantly, the specific steps that will protect you or someone you love. Because the people running these scams are not amateurs, they are organized criminals, and the only thing standing between your savings and them is knowing what to watch for. This channel is not affiliated with the DWP, HMRC, or any government body. Everything here is for information and education only, not personal financial or legal advice. Always verify through official sources before taking action. Let us start with the scam that is most active right now and the one most people do not see coming. You get a text message. It looks official. It says something like, "The Department for Work and Pensions would like to remind you that your winter fuel allowance for this year cannot be paid because you have not yet completed an application. Please submit your application by a certain deadline or the system will close your route." There is a link. The link looks like a government website. It is not. That is word for word the text that was being sent to pensioners across the UK in autumn 2025. The DWP confirmed it. Police forces from Merseyside to the West Midlands issued local alerts, and the number of reports doubled in a single week because fraudsters deliberately timed the campaign to coincide with the period when winter fuel payments are normally made. They knew people would be anxious about whether their payment was coming. They exploited that anxiety. The important thing to understand about winter fuel payment is this. You do not apply for it by text. You do not apply for it online through a link in a message. If you qualify, you either receive it automatically or you are contacted by post. The DWP will never ask for your bank details by text message, ever. If you receive a message asking you to click a link and enter personal or financial details to receive a government benefit payment, that message is a scam, every time. So what happens if you click the link? You are taken to a website that looks almost identical to a genuine government portal. It has official-looking branding. It asks for your name, address, date of birth, national insurance number, and bank account details so the payment can be sent directly to you. You fill it in and submit it. The fraudsters now have everything they need to steal your identity, access your bank account, or sell your details to other criminals. The money you thought was coming never arrives, and the personal information you entered is gone. If you receive a suspicious text, do not click any links and do not reply. Forward the message to 7726. That is the free number for reporting scam texts to phone providers so they can block the numbers involved. You can also report HMRC-related scams by forwarding the message to 60599. If you are worried you have already responded to one of these messages, call your bank immediately using the number on the back of your card, not any number in the message itself. Now here is where it gets more serious, because the text message scam, as frightening as it is actually the lower stakes version of what is happening in the pension fraud world. Pension transfer fraud is the one that wipes people out completely. Here is how it works. You receive a phone call, an email, or you see an advert online. Someone offers you a free pension review, or they promise you access to better investment returns than your current pension is getting. Or they say they can help you unlock cash from your pension before you reach retirement age. They are professional. They have a website. They have testimonials. They know the right language. They sound completely legitimate. They are not. What they want you to do is transfer your pension pot out of your existing scheme and into one that they control. Once the transfer is complete, the money is gone. In some cases, it goes into a fake investment vehicle that was always fraudulent. In others, it gets moved through multiple accounts before disappearing entirely. And because pension transfers are a legal mechanism, reversing one after the fact is extremely difficult and in many cases impossible. In 2024, the average loss per pension fraud victim was £34,000. For some victims, the figure was far higher. The pensions regulator reports that average losses from the abuse of certain pension schemes have now risen to £38,400 per person. These are not small amounts of discomfort. For the people involved, this is the loss of their entire retirement security. There is a detail worth noting here because it comes up again and again in the stories of people who were defrauded. Nearly every victim says the same thing afterwards. They say, "I thought I was too smart to fall for a scam." Research commissioned by the FCA found that more than half of pension holders aged 45 to 65 do not think they are likely to be targeted by a scam. The most common reason given was that they were too savvy to be deceived. Pension scam victims include teachers, civil servants, accountants, engineers, people who spent their careers making careful decisions. The reason the scam worked was not that the victims were careless. It was that the fraudsters were extremely skilled. So let us go through the specific warning signs. These are the red flags that the Financial Conduct Authority, the pensions regulator, and the Money Helper Service all identify as indicators of a scam. The first is an unexpected contact. You are approached out of the blue, whether by phone, text, email, social media, or a link in an advert. Since 2019, it has been illegal in the UK to cold call someone about their pension without their consent. If someone contacts you without warning to discuss your pension, that contact is almost certainly either illegal, a scam, or both. Hang up, delete the message, do not engage. The second warning sign is the promise of guaranteed high returns. No legitimate investment guarantees a fixed high return. If someone tells you they can guarantee you 10 or 15% annually on your pension money, they are lying. Real investments carry real risk. The promise of certainty is the signal that something is wrong. The third warning sign is pressure to act quickly. Scammers create urgency. They tell you the offer is only available for the next 48 hours. They say the window is closing. They push you to make a decision before you have time to think, check, or speak to someone independent. Any legitimate pension advisor will give you as much time as you need. Genuine investment opportunities do not evaporate in 2 days. Pressure is a manipulation tactic. The fourth warning sign is the offer of a free pension review from a company you have never dealt with before. This is a common entry point. The review itself may seem helpful and professional. What it is designed to do is identify how much is in your pension and then move towards persuading you to transfer it. The fifth warning sign is someone encouraging you to access your pension savings early before the age of 55. There are very limited circumstances in which early access is possible, mainly connected to serious ill health. Anyone who promises you a way to unlock pension cash early is almost certainly pointing you toward a scheme that is either fraudulent or that will trigger a significant tax charge on top of fees. In some liberation scams, victims have lost more than half the value of their pension to tax bills alone, on top of whatever the fraudster took. And here is the part most people miss. There is a third category of scam that specifically targets people who have already been defrauded. It is called recovery fraud, and it is one of the cruelest tactics in the playbook. A few months after someone has lost money to a pension scam, they receive another approach. It might come as a letter, a phone call, or an email. The person contacting them claims to be from a legal firm, a compensation service, or even from a body like the Fraud Compensation Fund, which is a real government-backed fund. They say they have identified the victim as someone who is owed compensation. They say they can help recover the lost money, but there is a fee required up front to process the claim. There is no compensation coming. The fee disappears. The pensions regulator issued a specific warning about this after scammers began sending fake letters impersonating the fraud compensation fund, targeting people who had already lost pension savings. The genuine fraud compensation fund does not contact individual scheme members directly about payments. If you receive a letter or call claiming to offer help recovering lost pension money, treat it with extreme caution and verify by calling the pensions regulator directly on the number listed at thepensionsregulator.gov.uk. City of London police describe recovery fraud as one of the most cynical developments in modern fraud, and that is exactly right. It targets people at their most vulnerable moment. So here is what you actually do to protect yourself. These steps take very little time, and they make an enormous difference. Step 1. Check any firm before you hand over any information or any money. The FCA maintains a financial services register at fca.org.uk/register. Every regulated financial advisor in the UK must be on this register. If the firm or individual is not listed, walk away. If they say they are regulated but you cannot find them, walk away. The FCA also operates a firm checker tool at fca.org.uk, where you can verify whether someone is authorized specifically to give pension advice. If you want to confirm by phone, you can call the FCA Consumer Helpline on 0800 111 6768. That line is free. Step 2. Never transfer your pension based on a conversation alone. Before any pension transfer goes ahead, take independent advice from a regulated financial advisor who is not connected to whoever approached you. You can find authorized advisors through the FCA register or through the Money Helper service at moneyhelper.org.uk. Step 3. If you are in any doubt about a contact claiming to be from the DWP or HMRC, do not respond to that contact. Instead, call the DWP directly on 0800 0232 635 or find the relevant HMRC number at gov.uk. Use the official number, not any number provided in the message you received. Step 4. If you think you may have already been targeted, report it. In England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, you report fraud to Report Fraud, which replaced Action Fraud in December 2025. The website is reportfraud.gov.uk. You can also call the helpline on 0300 123 2040. If you are in Scotland, call Police Scotland on 101 or Advice Direct Scotland on 0808 1646 000. If the fraud involves a pension transfer specifically, report it to the pensions regulator as well at thepensionsregulator.gov.uk. Reporting matters even if you have already lost money because it provides intelligence that helps authorities track, disrupt, and prosecute the people running these operations. Step 5. Warn someone. Show this video to a parent, a neighbor, a friend. The people most effectively targeted by these scams are often those who are less likely to be watching a channel like this one. Sharing what you know is one of the most useful things you can do. One final thing to keep in mind, and this is important. If someone contacts you offering to help you get your money back after you have already been scammed, do not pay anything upfront. Genuine victim support organizations do not charge fees. The Money Helper service offers a free pension loss appointment for people who believe they have been defrauded. That number is 0800 0113 797, and that call is free. The Pensions Ombudsman can also investigate pension complaints at no cost. £17.5 million lost in a single year, an average of £34,000 per victim. These numbers will keep going up unless more people know what to look for. Now you do. Check the description below for every official number and website mentioned in this video. Share this one with someone who needs it. And in the next video, we are looking at something that affects far more people than realize it. Hundreds of thousands of pensioners are sitting on an unclaimed benefit right now. Not because they were turned down, but because no one ever told them the rules had changed. That is coming up next.